back at your family home, sort of, but you sort of don't. You could fit in an adult's cultivated apartment where they have like a French press and they have all the things that adults have, but you kind of don't. So you kind of fit everywhere, but you kind of fit nowhere. And I think that plays into a little bit of where she's coming from. And I have to credit Dylan too with the fact that I know that he's gaslighting her, and I know that he's like, I know it's problematic, but I'm watching that, I'm like, he is so charismatic. He is charismatic, problematic, and I am still sort of rooting for them to work through this, because he makes some charming points. Yeah. And he does it in a really, really, like, I don't know, just the way that they both played it, I was just blown away.
It's beautiful, because I'm sure so many people relate to it as well, because charismatic, problematic, definition of a boyfriend, maybe?
An ex-boyfriend.
Okay, an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we want to go with that, but...
Zero.
Zero, that's
Nowhere.
You mentioned music videos, and I do want to go back, because before you directed this film, you began to have increasing visual input into the making of your music videos. And I want to ask about that process, how you were drawn to getting into the creativity of the music videos as opposed to just being on camera. The collaborators, you've worked with a couple of directors quite a lot. And I'm just curious to know what that process was like for you to get more and more creative input and control ultimately into your videos.
Yeah, it was a baby steps process. It wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, you know what I want to do? Direct. Like it just that was never something that I was programmed to say to myself, because I didn't go to film school. I've been on the set of 60 plus music videos, and I've learned a lot from that process, because I've always got my eyes and ears open, and I'm always looking at shots and thinking, I like that one, I don't like that, why and why not? I like that lighting, I don't like that light, why and why not? You know, and so you kind of are learning based on your experience, but I had a really, really close creative relationship with Joseph Kahn, who's just like a legend in music videos. He did Toxic by Britney Spears, which is like, just to like give you an example of what we're dealing with. And we made several music videos, and we got to the point where I'd call him up and I'd be like, okay, wrote this song called Look What You Made Me Do. I want to come out of the ground as a zombie, right? We're seeing my hand out of the ground, and then I'm dead, and then I'm in a bathtub of diamonds, and then there's a mountain of me's trying to kill the current me, and he'd be on the phone and be like, yeah, I know exactly what we're doing. Okay, amazing. And so like having that relationship where like essentially it got to the point where I was sort of starting to write the treatments to the videos, and I then decided it might be really cool to co-direct and to step into that role. And so you know, I got to co-direct a few videos with incredible collaborators, and I learned what it was like to start, you know, writing in-depth treatments and shot listing and really leaning into it. But when I did it on my own, that was when I really learned everything.
Yeah.
Because
you have to, I guess.
You have to, and it was so surprising to me, because I didn't really want to turn back after that. I just had so much fun. The first video I directed on my own was a video called The Man. And it's weird because I'm prosthetically turned into a dude for the whole video. So this was the first video I ever directed on my own. So if you can imagine me trying to direct child actors while I'm dressed prosthetically as a man. I've got like prosthetic, like rubber, whatever they put on you, on my face, and I'm trying to like talk to little kids about what their action is, and they know something's not quite right, and their mom told them that this is Taylor Swift, but they don't really understand how that could be possible.
Yes, you have a beard, and you have a bodysuit on.
It was honestly like, it was incredible. The experience was so wild and wonderful, and I got to work with the incredible Rodrigo Prieto as my DP, which I still can't believe that happened to me. because he's just so incredible. Yeah, and so that happened, and then the pandemic happened, and I ended up directing in the middle of the, the sourdough early phase of the pandemic, this video called Cardigan. And thanks. And then I did another one for a song called Willow, and that was when I thought, I feel like I could do more. I feel like I'm ready for more. And so that was when I decided to make the short film for All Too Well.
You also draw from movies for some of the imagery in your films, and there's these great references. The Man reminded me at the beginning, anyhow, Wolf of Wall Street.
Thank you.
There's
honestly,
such a vibe there.
Deeply on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
I love that film.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that film so much. So it was kind of like an homage, you know?
Sure.
Like people, when you reference things, like people don't know if you're trolling or if you're like, I love that film. I absolutely love that film.
And
I
then
really
the Bad
do.
Blood video is all like futuristic action movie. Like
Yeah,
full universe
it's
there.
the espionage. That's a phone call with me and Joseph Kahn where I'm like, what if Selena kicks me out a window and tries to kill me, but I don't die, and then I go to spy school and they all teach me how to fight. And he's like, yeah, and there's explosions, and so yeah, that was a blast, and that was kind of like tipping our hat to the kind of spy thriller genre.
Yes. All right, so I want to ask you more about going from the videos that you directed to this one, the short film, because it feels like, just in terms of your creative evolution, there's more ambition here, you're doing more with it, shooting on 35, longer format, there's a whole dramatic, intense scene there, which could have come out of Marriage Story, almost,
I need some water.
No, but it has that
so
kind
cool
of
of you to say that.
emotional intensity. It's raw, like that Noah Baumbach film is. So I want to ask about just putting that film together, particularly the technical side of it, deciding to shoot on 35 millimeter, deciding on the 1.33 aspect ratio, that kind of old vibe and the richness of those colors and the shallow focus, all of those things are decisions.
Yes.
To the stage, Taylor Swift.
Everybody's supposed to go. Try to get up.
Well, hello, Nashville. Could you please give it up again for my friend, Lainey Wilson, who's been Yeah, love story. Do you want to do love story? We can do that. You know, we had a special request by a very special tight end who wanted to hear that particular song, and that tight end is named George Kittle. Look out!
When I call me out, when I first saw you, I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on the balcony in summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gown. See you make your way through the crowd to say hello. Little did I know. You were Romeo, you were throwing candles in my daddy's head. Stay away from Juliet. And I was crying on the staircase, begging you please don't go. And I said, longing you're taking someone to be alone. I'll be waiting. All that's left to do is run. You'll pick a prince and I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just stand there. Skip this town for a little while. Cause you wrote me, I was a scarlet letter, and my daddy said, stay away from Juliet. And you were everything to me. I was begging you, please don't go. And I said, why will you take me somewhere we could be alone? I'll be waiting. All there's left to do is run. You'll be the princess, I'll be the princess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Don't say you've been trying to tell me how to feel. This love is difficult, but it's a real. Don't be afraid, we'll get me out of this mess. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Wondering if you were ever coming around. My faith in you was fading when I met you on the outskirts of town. Now I say, only you're flaky. I've been feeling so alone. I keep waiting.
There are moments in life that no camera can fully capture. Moments so raw, so unscripted, so deeply human that even the people living them can barely believe it's real. And last night, in Nashville, Tennessee, at Tight End University, one of those moments happened, and it broke the internet. And honestly, it broke a lot of hearts too, in the most beautiful way possible. Travis Kelce, the man who has caught passes in Super Bowls, the man who has stood under stadium lights with 70,000 people screaming his name, the man who runs routes against the best defenders in the NFL without flinching. That man, that 6'5", 250-pound, 14-year NFL veteran, stood in a room full of professional athletes and felt something so powerful move through him that his eyes filled with tears. And when the cameras caught it, the world went completely silent for a second and then completely lost its mind. Let me take you back, because you need to understand what Tight End University actually is, to understand why what happened there last night was so extraordinary. TU is something Travis built from scratch. Back in 2021, Kelce sat down with his friends George Kittle and Greg Olson, and together they had a vision of something bigger than football, a gathering, a brotherhood, a place where tight ends from across the entire NFL could come together, share knowledge, train, grow, and push each other to be better. 6 years later, it has become one of the most watched, most respected events in the entire NFL offseason. Over 80 professional tight ends showed up to Vanderbilt University this week. This is Travis Kelce's legacy, not just on the field, but off it. And he knows it. But here's what nobody was ready for. Here's the part that stopped everyone cold. Taylor Swift showed up. Now, yes, people had been wondering. People had been speculating. Because just days ago, the internet was flooded with stories about wedding drama, guest list conflicts, security nightmares. Reports were flying everywhere that something had gone wrong behind the scenes, that plans had changed, that the fairy tale was somehow falling apart. Fans were worried. Swifties were panicking. And then, June 22nd, Taylor Swift walks into TEU like nothing else matters. Dressed in black with silver detailing, calm, radiant, present. And the moment she walked in, every rumor, every tabloid headline, every piece of speculation just evaporated, because love was standing right there in the room, and you could feel it. She posed for photos. She laughed with George Kittle's wife, Claire. She stood next to Travis and the founders, and they took what the TEU Instagram account called, and I love this, TE yearbook cover worthy. That one photo. Just that one photo. And the internet had already started losing its composure. But the real moment, the moment that will live forever, was still coming. Later that night, at the Tight Ends and Friends charity concert with country music filling the Nashville air, Taylor Swift did something nobody expected. She walked onto that stage unannounced. The crowd erupted, and then she sang Love Story. Think about that for a second. She didn't just sing Love Story. She sang Love Story days before her own wedding, in a room full of the men her fiancé considers his brothers, with Travis Kelce watching from somewhere in that crowd. And midway through the song, she did something so subtle, so intentional, so perfectly tailored. She lifted her hand and let the light catch her engagement ring. And the crowd screamed, and somewhere in that room, a very large, very tough, very emotionally guarded NFL superstar couldn't hold it together anymore.